everyone, it's Justine with another card tutorial. I did want to mention before we get started that I'm doing this video for the July stamp of the month for Sew Suzy stamps, and I've actually started to put my videos over on the Sew Suzy stamps channel itself. So my videos with Sew Suzy stamps are going to be transitioning slowly over to that channel. So I'm going to link in the corner here as well as in the bottom below. If you want to subscribe to that channel as well, that would be amazing, and you'll get to see lots of videos by me there as well. Especially if you love Sew Suzy stamps, they'll just be all in one place. So I'm going to get started by stenciling this stencil. It's from Create a Smile Stamps, and I'm going to be using a tumbled glass distress ink, and I am just making a nice even light coat over top of the stencil. Now I thought this was going to be a little bit too busy because I have this really detailed stencil background, and so what I decided to do was use a piece of vellum. It's one of my ways to tone down a certain card. Now I'm going to use some vellum. I use my embossing bag to take off any static from the vellum because it can be quite staticky. And I'm going to use the July stamp of the month here and stamp in Versamark ink in a random pattern over top of the vellum. Now I'm going to be heat embossing this afterwards and adding some embossing powder. And there's no really method to my madness as to where I'm placing the stamps, just in a random pattern. I'm also going to be cutting down this panel eventually as well. So once I'm all finished my stamping, I'm going to grab some fine embossing powder in white from Ranger, and I'm going to be adding that to my card. What you have to do is make sure that your card panel here is completely covered in the embossing powder, and then you can give it a simple flick on the back to get any excess powder that may have clung to certain areas. I like to hold it with tweezers because the powder will stick to your fingerprints because the oil's on your skin. So I do like to, when embossing on vellum and cardstock in general, hold them with tweezers. It also helps when your heat gun gets really hot that you don't burn yourself. So you'll see that it changes really quickly. Embossing powder melts quicker on vellum than it does on paper. And I'm going to cut down this panel. I decided to cut it down using a stitched rectangles die just to give it a more finished look, and also so that it's the same size as my card panel that I created with the stencil. Now I'm simply going to attach the vellum onto my card base, but to get started I had to make a card base, and then I attached the stenciled piece on top with some Tombow Mono liquid adhesive, and I simply decided to add some tiny glue dots here to the back of the vellum sheet. Because each corner has the embossed look on it, you actually can't really see them, or you can cover them also with embellishments or however you like. I find vellum tape doesn't really work. There are tapes for this, but you still see through it, and I find it's best to just do what you can. Now I'm going to stamp this stamp here. This is a March stamp of the month. So if you're really interested in this stamp here, you're going to have to sign up for the full year of the Stamp of the Month program rather than the third quarter. We'll send you all, or Sew Suzy will send you all of the stamps that you've missed out on throughout this year so far, including this one. And then you'll get stamps every single month until December. Or if you want to sign up for the third quarter of the Sew Suzy Stamps Club or membership club, you're welcome to do that as well, and you'll get the next 3 months to try out. I'm going to leave a link below in the description if you're interested in the membership program, and you can check that out there. So I'm just going to stamp a partial sentiment onto my cardstock here. It says the best ships are friendships, and I'm just going to cut that down to the appropriate size. I wanted to make this little sentiment pattern go right across the entire page, so I cut it down to 4 1/4 inches across, and I added that to my card. I decided also that no embellishments were really necessary on this card. I had played around with possibly adding a few, but I really like the simplicity of the card with this white sentiment going across such an intricate background. So that's the end of today's card tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this really subtle background look. All the supplies used are listed below in the video description or on my blog. Here you can click on either one of the moving videos to check out other videos that I made using Sew Suzy stamps. Up at the top you can click to check out the blog and the supply list, or you can click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in a couple days for another video.